heard already, getting walloped today on the corner of Wall and Broad. It telegraphs some problems on a slowdown globally. The impact certainly is obvious on the stock, but Ted Oakley is with us right now about whether this has wider repercussions. He's with Oxbow Advisors, the managing partner there. What do you make of all this? An overdone reaction to FedEx or what?
Well, Neil, I think not, actually. If you look back at FedEx, it's highly correlated to U.S. GDP and probably to the world in general. And I think they made no bones about it that there's a macro slowing out there. I mean, they tried to put some look on Europe, but generally, I think they're telling you that it's slowing down.
So if that's the case, some of those directly affected, like a FedEx, is one thing, but this could spread.
Oh, it could spread for sure because, you know, they're one of those that will give you sort of a lead on it, but then the others are lag, and then you get that coming up from the backside.
So play this out for me there. Now we've got them a lot of concentration on a lot of the European countries that are slowing down. Germany just in and out of recession right now. Italy not doing all that great. Spain not doing all that great. England on this whole Brexit thing, we don't know how it's going to go. But you do have to wonder about that market for so many U.S. companies clearly exposed.
Well, they are exposed, Neil, and I think what's happened is I think people they really feel like because of this recent bounce in the market, hey, maybe things are okay and they're going to be all right. But if you look at the world numbers, they're not going that direction. You know, it's a different look, and so I think that's what's ahead of us here.
So for the markets, how are you stepping back and looking at them? The markets here.
Neil, if you remember, we had some cash at the end of the third quarter, quite a bit actually, and put some in December, and actually have recashed, if you want to call that. We're back up to 25 to 30% liquid, only because we're back to where we can't really find the values that come along and that we want to pick up here.
So when you were doing that at the end of the third quarter, it's very prescient because we know what happened, particularly in December. Are you looking for something similar now?
Well, I think you're going to have some slow quarters in here where the markets give some of it back. I think people generally think that, hey, everything's okay now. Fed's going to come to the rescue and all that's okay. But I think it'll be a hard go for them over the next couple of quarters. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean you crash. But it does mean that it's going to be tough to make a buck in here right now, I think.
Would there be anything you'd want to hear out of Jerome Powell in a little bit more than a half hour from now that would ease your angst?
Not really. I said on your network back on October 3rd that I expected they would cut and run as soon as the market broke. And I think that they still are in that mode where, you know, they're not going to do anything about the balance sheet. They're going to make it soft again. And they've sort of imploded, in my opinion, but that's what I expected. So there's not much they could tell me that would change that.
Well, all right, Ted Oakley, thank you, I think. Always good catching up with you, my friend.